Hi guys, with only a few weeks to Japfest at Silverstone, I need to fix the gallery gaskets on the 380RS if I want to be there. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome along. For any new people to the channel, this is my Nismo 380RS. And in this video, or the next few videos, we will be doing the gallery gaskets on it. And I've got a few other mods that I want to put on the car before we go to Japfest in a few weeks' time. I've got some wheels on it, I've got some seats, I need to put a stereo in the car. I need to get the exhaust fixed, it needs a little bit of extension because of the body kit. So gallery gaskets first, I need to make sure the car's running, and then after that, anything I can get done to it before Japfest is actually a bonus. So yeah, let's get on with the gallery gaskets. We'll kind of talk you through it. So what I'm hoping is that the 380RS engine is the same as the HR in terms of the front section. Obviously the internals are different, they've got forged pistons and cranks and yeah, make a little bit more power. The internals are different, but I'm hoping that the gallery gaskets here at the front are the same, or I'm screwed, because I only have, well, Chris at Tarmac Sports, I hooked him up with some parts for his Nismo, and he's hooked me up with the gallery gaskets and some oil for this car. So yeah, what we need to do first is get, there is a way of doing it, you take the rad pack and everything out and you can kind of get it from here. I much prefer, I've done it once more, and because I've got the garage space, I can take everything off. I prefer to take the dumper, the core support, get everything out of the way, and that just gives you straight access to the front to get all the pulleys and everything off. I find that, from my point of view, because I'm not a mechanic, that is just easier to see everything, easier to know where you're working. And obviously we've got the ramp as well, so we can get the car up and down. I'll maybe just take you a little quick tour around the car before we start taking it to bits. So I managed to source a genuine superleggera kit for the car, which I've wanted for ages. So that is all painted and fitted, and the body shop's done a cracking job of that. These are my old Folk TE37 wheels that I had to put on it just to transfer it back and forward. I do have some other wheels. If you've watched any previous videos, I've got some nice wheels to go on it, but I still need to get the tyres mounted. So the inside, as I said before, still need to get the stereo fitted, and I've got some different seats I want to try and put in, but I need to see if the brackets work. After that, the inside is done. I've got some mats to do, some sill covers, put a new gear knob on it, because unfortunately the 380RS, the red gear knob, was stolen when the car was shipped in, which is very unfortunate. I was going to do an Amuse gauge pod. If you look up the Amuse, they've got a kind of triple cluster thing with some Defi gauges in it, but I can't find that anywhere. I'll make it in the future. I can actually make it fiberglass, etc. in the future, but I don't have time right now. Yeah, as I said, the car's done 115,000 kilometres. So yeah, 70 something thousand miles. But yeah, overall good condition. And I'll jack this up onto the ramps. We're really struggling for space here. But yeah, I'll get it up on the ramps and show you the underside of it. So under the car, it's got some nice MCR suspension on it, some different strut bars, support braces, full titanium exhaust. It's also got these rails along here as well, the sill rails, which I hadn't seen before, strengthening rails on either side. Also W brace, ultra racing stuff. All very clean and tidy for a car that's done 70,000 miles. But yeah, the exhaust here, as you can see with the new bumper, the exhaust tips need to come out another 3 inches. So need to find a titanium welder that can amend that for me. So yeah, all very nice. Right, let's get this front bumper unbuttoned and the front end off. That bumper is just a work of art. I love it. Love it, I love it, I love it. So I'm glad it's off safely. Right, it's kind of late tonight, but I'm going to do a little bit more. I'm going to take the headlights off and a couple of braces, maybe the front crash support. But yeah, I think this is only on the Nismos. This kind of support piece here, and then also the damper bar comes along the middle there, connects either side of the chassis leg. Whether it does much, I don't know, but yeah, Nismo specific. So I'll just take, I'm just going to take a few more things off, call it a night and get back into it tomorrow. I'm just wondering, I wonder if I can get these headlights out, because they're tucked under the Muse wings by about an inch. Oh, I'm really hoping they come out. I don't want to take the wings off. Right, only one thing for it is to do it. Before I call it a night, I'm just going to drop the oil out of it, which could make or break my mood right now, but hopefully we drop it out and it all looks good. No any signs of bearing shells in it or anything. So yeah, I'll hoist it back up and we'll get that oil out. Not bad, not bad. There's one piece of something here. A little square there, might be a bit of the gasket. Definitely thick like the paper gasket rather than thin like a bit of bearing. So, okay. Happy enough with that. I can sleep well tonight. And I'm back for day 2 and hopefully get to spend a little bit more time on it today and get the full front end taken off. So I'll show you where we're at. So last night got the oil out and today I need to drop the coolant, which I should have done last night, but never thought about that. So today I want to get the air boxes off and then I want to try and take the full front end off in a oneer, which I've never did before. I've always took it off in sections. So I know I'll need to do release the bonnet cable and take that off. The 2 pipes that are going down to the water pumps for the windscreen washers, disconnect them. What else? There'll be, once we the 2 radiator hoses, top and bottom radiator hoses, and the 2 aircon pipes that go through there. And the only other thing is the power steering cooler pipes that go through here and up to the cooler, so we'll need to disconnect them somehow. And I think once everything is disconnected, the whole lot will come off in a oneer. We just need to unbolt it from up top here, a couple of bolts up top, and there's a couple of, I think maybe 1 or 2 bolts on the underside as well that hold it on. The bolts are off the chassis legs, so that should be okay. So yeah, it should just be the bolts up either side, and hopefully it all comes off in a oneer intact. That's the plan. Just need to get to it now. Right, for some reason the camera keeps switching off, which is pretty annoying. But I've put the plug back in under the radiator, and I've moved this bonnet stay out the way. So now I'm going to look at what I need to do to take this hose off. So a couple of clips to take the actual bottle off itself, and then there's a bracket going onto the chassis leg holding the hard pipes. Take that off. Right, that's that loose. That should come out with the front end. So that's the two radiator hoses, power steering. Now we need to go into the AC lines, which are behind here. Now when the car was in at the body shop, I asked the body shop to drain the AC for us, which they did. Well, I'm hoping they did. So this should be easy enough. One way to check if your AC is drained, open up that little guy there. Now this is high pressure, so if it isn't drained it'll shoot to the bonnet, but still seems to be some pressure into it. Although there's no gas coming out of it. There's air pressure, but yeah, that's it there. Usually when you press it down you can feel, well, freezing cold gas. You don't want to get it on your skin because it will burn you. So yeah, must just be the residual gas that's there. There's another one in beside the battery, in there as well, but it's a wee bit awkward to get to unless you're... So yeah, I'm hoping that that's done. Show you this here. So that's your two AC lines there. You need a special tool that pushes the two pieces apart. Basically this little pipe goes inside that thicker pipe by, yeah, it's about an inch or so. So you need the tool that you can push in to release them, and then you need to pull it back. Not the easiest job to do. So I'll probably take this bolt off here. If I take that bolt off here, it gives me a little bit more slack on that line. This line isn't too bad because it's quite thin, so it does move and bend quite easily. So that's the plan next, to get these two off. Once those two are off, I'll get my bolts undone, both sides, and apart from possibly like a wire harness somewhere to disconnect, that should be everything loose. This will either go really well or really badly, so safety goggles are on, just in case. Oh, there we go. Right, not much pressure on that one. Maybe I should, I'm going to take that cover plate over here just to put the screwdriver into the other line. Okay. Yeah, that one's empty. Good, good. There we go. Sweet as. Nice. Safety goggles deactivated. I mean, it makes sense why other mechanics would just go down through this side. But I've not got all the time in the world, but I've got more time to play with than these guys, so right, let's not break that. Set this over here to the side. Okay, so we need to take the bonnet catch off. Right, so this is the two bolts up here, if you can see them where my finger is, 1, 2, and one's just kind of under the plastic here. Try and get those out. Not too bad. Can we bend that enough just to get it in? These are all screaming out. Just take that one plastic clip off, you idiot. There we go. Two bolts out from there. And the other two are there we go. We'll just repeat that onto the other side and then get back to removing the front. Just before I was going to pull that off, I thought I'll check where the wiring goes. So this bit here comes from the main fuse box up there, and then it splits onto the headlight connector and then comes down here and goes to the horns. Well, there's a sensor there, I think it's maybe an impact sensor, and then the horns, and then this little connector here, which I think maybe goes into this top of this kind of air con bottle. So you can unpin that, take that back, and then another side, the wiring harness comes for the engine area, comes down, connects to the pumps on the back of the water bottle here, and also goes to the fan. Right, I've stood and stared at this for about 20 minutes because I can't be bothered anymore. But I've got this far, so I just remember the last time how hard it was to get this crank pulley bolt undone. I remember having to come up with ratchet straps everywhere to try and get the pressure on it. But forget about that now, let's just dismantle everything else. Engine cover off, hoses, pulleys, belts, unloosen the compressor for the air conditioning, power steering pump, alternator, get everything off, and well, they're just going to be a bit deeper then after that, aren't we? We just can't go back, so yeah, let's just do that. Right, so you can see the tensioner here onto the guide. Sorry, I'm trying to shine a light here. Hold that in that hand maybe. Right, so you can see the tensioner here onto the guide. So it's only out, what's that, about 15 to 18 mil. It comes out quite a bit more than that. So I think the chain will be okay with that. But if you look underneath, how can you see it? Can you see that? See that big bit of brown underneath the tensioner? That's part of the gallery gasket. That is fucked. So yeah, I was kind of worrying as well. Did I pull this apart and the gallery gaskets are fine, there's something else causing the issue, but good to see that that's probably the issue. Right, enough for now. I am going in for a cup of tea, get a clean up, come back out in a little while. So the bit I've been putting off is this main pulley, and I did have a go at it with the impact gun, but wouldn't budge. So yeah, it's a pain in the butt. The last time, I can't remember what I did. I bent so many things trying to prise it off the last time. I've read somewhere that if you put the car in 6th gear, lower it to the ground so the wheels can't move, then that helps. So that's what I'm going to try just now. I'm going to stick the front wheels back on and put the car onto 4 wheels, see if that works. Hopefully it does. Hopefully, because after that I'm kind of stumped, to be honest. Because I know you can go in and jam the flywheel from moving, but I don't want to do that. Right, I'm going to put the wheels back on and I will come back to you in a minute. No, the car just wants to reverse. That's incredible. Better check the ramp position before I put it back up. Right, handbrake on maybe as well would help. Just fighting against the handbrake then. Jesus. I got a bar. Bugger then, bugger. Oh guys, so sorry, but after about an hour of fucking about I finally got it. Got a little pry bar wedged in under here onto the ground, the wheels on the ground. Put the car at the 6th gear, handbrake on, and yeah, finally got it. Not gonna lie, I'm absolutely knackered for throwing in that for so long. Hopefully, or sprayed some penetrating oil on it as well for a wee while. Not sure how much difference that really made, but here we go. The worst bit of this job, so it is. Some people seem to get it easy. Make sure I clean all this with brake cleaner to get the oil off it before we reinstall it. There we go. Nemesis. Right, I'll clean that up. It is almost dinner time. So I'm just going to go in and have my dinner. Enjoy some family time, and when the kids are in bed at night, come back out and get this cover off, and then deal with the time and chain stuff and the gaskets and that tomorrow. Finally, the exciting bit where we get to take all the bolts off and double check and triple check to make sure you've got them all off before you start. Try to yank the cover off. So there's a load of 10s all the way around, and there's some bigger 14s I think they are as well, and there's like a 10 in the middle here, and these ones here as well. So I've been taking my time, making sure I get them all, and I'm hoping like all the 14s are the same length and then the 10s are the same length, but I'll need to keep an eye on that. 14. I need a new battery in this. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's all those bolts off. Still got the two on the underside to do it. Okay. Gentle, gentle, tappy, tappy. What a time for the memory card to fill up. Just when it was getting exciting. Oh yes, I can feel it now. I can feel it now. A little bit of silicone holding it now somewhere. Silicone. Yep, all good there. Oof, yeah. Bring it in for a closer look. So you can see here at the bottom here the gaskets hanging out. And then this one up here, you can see through the timing cover. Sorry, not the timing cover, but the wee hatch. There's also a piece up here, but that might be like that. Anyway. So yeah, we're down to this. Got there eventually. So I'm going to sleep on it tonight, and tomorrow come in and start trying to remove what I need to remove and cleaning up like all the loose silicone and things round about it. It's time to remove these. So I'm going to do it without moving the timing chain, which is possible, but you need to take a few precautions first. The last time I tried this, so you can zip tie the chain quite tight together so it doesn't move, but the last time when I was taking off the tensioner, I should have been tightening the zip ties as I was taking it off, and because I never did that, it skipped a tooth up here. But I had marked them with a Sharpie, which was a godsend because it meant I knew where every cog was sitting, and I knew it was this one here that had skipped 2 teeth, so we could wind it back and put it back on. It wasn't an issue. So I'm going to do the same procedure again. I'm just going to mark where everything is with a Sharpie and put the zip ties around here, and as I take this tensioner off, basically you need the tensioner off to get into the screw that's behind here, the one here, and there's one behind here. So you need to be able to let the chain move out of the way. So if you take the tensioner off, the guide slides out the way a little bit and lets you into these screws. That's the plan. Whether it works, it probably will skip again, but if it's not the end of the world, I mean, we can reset the timing on it, no problem. We can find all the marks that are everywhere. You see there's marks on the casing, marks on the cogs. You can, with the chain off, you can spin everything around and then line the chain back up. It's easy enough to do anyway, but I'm just trying to save that step. So first things first is let's just mark where everything is sitting just now. There's something, just a little skip up the top here. So, yeah. Now, as you can see, this one's tried to turn a little bit to pull the tension out of here and just give more slack up the top here. And we're going to be alright. It might go a bit more once I take this off. Yeah, not much we can do. Ready, as soon as this lets go, it'll click again. Right, maybe not, we'll maybe get away with that. So, there's this little guy here. Tensioner, I'm sure it's controlled by oil pressure. You see the oil goes in through this hole here, force out the tensioner to keep pressure on it. Right, so push it back in. Right. Yeah, so you can just push it in, reset it, and reset it you can just put the pin in to hold it in place. Okay, that gives us access to all the screws. Just need to unscrew them now. You tend to find where, this is a common place where it goes here, you tend to find that screw's loose. So I think It's a Phillips head, whether it's a 2 or a 3, I'll find out. And that's a 3, that's a 2, so I'll say it was a Phillips 3. Right, I should really open the care package first, shouldn't I? Get these off, we'll open up the package to make sure we've got the right things in it. Otherwise it'll be a crazy, frantic start to the week to try and get the right parts. Yeah, these were all definitely tight. Definitely need to crack those off. Maybe not quite as tight there. Yeah, that one was loose. So I think that's maybe always the problem with these things. I think they're mis-torquing them, or they're coming loose at some point, and that's what's giving the gasket some space to break. Yeah, look at the nick of that. Check you're still on. Yep. So, quite a few splits in it. Split there, allowing the gasket to slide out, and then it's also split up here, there as well. So, not too good. So, we reckon the one at the bottom here is the one that's going to be loose. Oh, that one's loose up here as well. Yeah, that wasn't even all the way in. That's obviously worked its way back out. Wow. Right, so this awkward one up here, so you can't get the screwdriver to go straight in. So try and use the smaller, the number 2 Phillips. There we go. Just need to make sure you've got enough pressure pushing onto the screw so it doesn't slip. You probably won't get it all the way out with the screwdriver, but get out far enough that you can then... Oh, there we go, now I got it all the way out. Perfect. Perfect, right, let's all the screws out of this one. There we go. So, screw that was really loose, you'd obviously let go and then let the gasket have a gap in it, blow a hole in it. Nice. Just in case you're asking, this is lint-free towel cloth. It's paper, but it's very thick paper that doesn't really tear. All good. Right, let's have a wee look, see what's inside our box. What I'm hoping for is some gallery gaskets and a service kit and some, what else, actual liquid gasket stuff to seal it all back up. So, a couple oil filters, Nissan gasket sealer. Some new little fixings, a couple of magnetic drain plugs, and the gaskets themselves. Just went with the genuine Nissan ones again. And we've got some Z1 Motorsports and Tarmac Sport stickers, thanks guys. And a couple of little seals that go back onto the larger of the gaskets. And some fresh oil. Go for the Moto 530. 5 litres should do it, but if I'm buying a service kit I usually just buy 2 at the same time, so I've always got a spare one. There you go, service kit, order 2 of them. It comes with oil filters and a magnetic drain plug for each, and then the rest of the stuff was for the gallery gaskets. Well, thanks very much to Chris and Bob at Tarmac Sports, helped me out with that. So we've got all the parts, we'll get everything cleaned up and get it put back together. Right, Nissan paper gaskets, recommended torque spec 10 to 12 foot-pounds. 1.5. Right, hopefully about there. Okay. What I need to do first is clean these gaskets off. Shouldn't be difficult. Right, you can see here there's a rubber seal in that and there isn't one in that, which makes me think it might be stuck to the timing cover, or it's maybe just fell out. So this, I'm pretty sure that's what these 2 little seals are for. You pop in there, that's the code number should you need them. I'm just wondering where the other ones went. Not sure what they're made of now. I don't think they're the same. I think they upgraded them to a more composite material. Could be wrong though. Right. Let's see. Right, I was just checking there because at 10, it's roughly 10, at 10 foot-pounds it was starting, this little bit I've got here was starting to strip the top of the bolt. Now this could just be an old fitting that's a little bit worn, so that's why I got a brand new fitting. It's a screwdriver fitting though, fits in nice and snug, and just basically put all my weight in it to turn those screws. So I'm happy that they are tight enough, but yeah, I just didn't, that was going to destroy the screws if I tried to fully pressure it up. Not to worry, that's that one done. On to the next one. This one's obviously going to be a bit more awkward to get back in. Hopefully if we can get it lined up straight. Okay, so what we'll do with that is sort of torque onto it. There we go. Happy with that. Right, get this rack in and buttoned up and go in for a cup of tea, and then come out and we'll spend some time just cleaning all the silicone off before we just clean all the silicone off all this and all these little bits, and same on the case. And then once we've cleaned it all this down here, we can silicone back up, get the case back on. Okay. This is where the extra hand would come in handy. Okay. Everything's still on the marks. Chains on the guide. I'll stick these two little guys in just now. Just need to double check that's still there. And we'll go to fit the cover. Okay, tea time. Nice and exciting part now where we start getting things back together. So I've just went round it again with some brake cleaner just to give it another clean. Also oil pan, cleaned all the silicone off that, put it in the sink, fairy liquid, give it all a good clean, and then brake cleaner again round the perimeter. And same with the front cover. Okay, let's get to silicone it. So these two wee guys are still on. Let me just double check I tightened this tensioner. Right one. Yep. So those two rubber bits there go into these two here. Basically got two locating pins down the bottom here. So they're pretty important. They go in 1, 2, 3 of it there. Down there, that one maybe. So moment of truth, let's see if it works. That felt good. At this point in time I wish I'd took note of where all these went. Way more. Let me peruse my phone. Hopefully I took a picture of it. One, two, three. Can't see the rest. That one. That one. Seven. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Thank goodness took a picture of it. Let's leave them loose until we get all these bad boys in. So these 3 screws, bolts, so it's kind of straight ahead, but you need to go down a little bit first. Okay, I think we'll get it up and we'll get the 2 bolts in at the bottom there and get the oil pan put back up. So from the last clip there, we're 2 days later, and the reason for that is this. So we put these covers back on, and I noticed some oil just kind of seeping out. And I tried it up a few times thinking it might just be oil that was trapped between the seals, but yeah, it keeps coming out. I've dried it up 3 or 4 times, it keeps coming out. And then I thought back to the last time I did this, and the kit came with new gaskets for these. So I kind of did a little bit of checking online and found them in Torkin. And I called up Adrian at Torkin, and he said they had them in stock. So he shipped them out next day. So they ordered them yesterday, they came today. And so they should have the new gaskets for these. I think there is also the gaskets for the inside as well. A couple of little clips I maybe showed you before. And a few other bits and bobs. So we'll just get that opened up, and we'll see what's there, and then we can start we'll just replace them. I should have done it in the first place, but I wasn't thinking when I ordered the original gaskets. So yeah, we'll just get this sorted now. So thanks very much, Adrian, for answering my messages quickly and getting it sent out quickly as well. So yeah, got the belt for it, and hopefully in here is the gaskets. I think that's everything. There we go, in case you need the part number. So these are the little clips or the seals that go on the inside. There should be 6 of those. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. No, 4 maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a couple of these little guys, 6 there. I think that's another one of those. I think that is for the thermostat maybe, which I'm not changing just now, but I'll keep that anyway. And that is the main seal here, which I am hoping I can take off from here and just put that one on. That would be handy. because I don't want to take the whole timing cover back off, but it looks like it pushes on for the front, so we'll get that changed as well. Slight oversight in my part. I should have ordered all these parts at the beginning, but just, yep, totally forgot. So if you're ordering it, you can order it as a full kit with the gallery gaskets and the little fixings for the gallery gasket covers. So I'm just going to try first of all with this little pick. Just try and get in behind it and pull at it. Okay, moved on to a little flathead screwdriver. There we go. Nice. Just got a little bit of grease on that. Just using a little bit of automotive grease that I used to put the pulley bushes in on my other car. I've also seen people using the old one as a kind of spacer, but I've already mangled that, so I don't want to use that. Give it another go with this before getting a bit of wood. There we go. Nice and flush all the way around. Perfect. So, let's see if we can take one off. They've got a little split in them, but obviously they're covered in oil, so right. So there's one that came off, and obviously the new one's in the packet, so I'll go ahead and I'll take 3 of these off. Well, again, hence why with oil still dripping out of it. So I'm going to fit that up there onto the pins. Time to get the fluids back in. So the drain plug's in, the radiator, I've took the little bleeder off the top here. I've took this off as well, off the expansion tank, just in case, and off the radiator cap, so get them filled up. Hopefully nothing pours out the bottom. Okay, it's getting closer to the moment of truth, which I'm slightly worried about, but I know you would be after doing all that work. So I put 4.5 litres of oil in it, checked the dipstick, we're all good there. Put the coolant back in, left this on because the car needs to heat cycle through and to get the air bubbles out. And if you leave it not revving, but if you leave it idling for long enough to get up to temperature, generally that works out all the air bubbles back into this. And I've just connected the battery. But I won't be able to leave it idling just now because it's late at night and there's no exhaust in the car. It's basically straight through headers, straight through pipes to the Y pipe, and then the rest is off. So it's pretty noisy, but I want to start it and just give myself a little bit of peace of mind, make sure everything's alright. Jesus Christ, that was loud. Right, engine sounded alright apart from obviously the noise from the exhaust, so I'm going to leave it tonight and tomorrow we're going to annoy the neighbours for a while that's ticking over tomorrow to bleed the coolant. But we keep an eye on leaks in the morning and hopefully we're all good. It's the next day and I put another exhaust on the car, so I'm going to fire it up, let it run for a little while. Hopefully all is good. Valve that was down there, left open, a load of coolant went down there, so hoping that'll burn off. The revs are dropping now. Temperature starting to climb, so hopefully it stops halfway. If not, we'll have a coolant issue. Try and burp the coolant. The oil pressure is sitting about halfway just now, so we'll just keep a little eye on it. Probably take about, I don't know, 15 minutes, 20 minutes just to get up the temperature when it's just idling like this. Okay, so as you can see there, temperature needle is just below half, which is generally where it would sit on the 350Z. And there is the pressure gauge, whereas before it was nearly hitting the zero when the gaskets were knackered. So yeah, happy with that. Nice little rip from that exhaust. the system and we'll put the radiator cap on. Overall guys, chuffed to bits. I've shut the bonnet and the lines look pretty good. The headlights, I'm just hoping that once the bumper goes on, it all lines up. There was only one way to find that out, and that is to get the bumper on. So I'm going to pop the bonnet back open, we'll get the bumper on, and then after that it's just the wheel arch liners, which I'll need to take the wheels off. In fact, I'll probably just take the wheels off first before I do the bumper, and that's them out of the way. I will think we'll call the gallery gaskets complete. The car starts and runs and heats up, and so I'll call that a success. I would like to thank Chris and Bob at Tarmac Sports for getting me the parts I needed, and also Adrian at Torkin as well for the fast next day delivery on the other parts I ended up needing as well. Both great companies, and I've dealt with them both for years and years, so I'll leave a link in the description for those websites. And for this, the next video is going to be the mods. We're going to do a little bit of mods on some engine based stuff, some interior stuff, so check that one out. Until then, see you later guys.